Panoramic, Australia. Chapter 7. Australia's Environmental Challenges, Climate Change, Impacts and Adaptation. Australia is at the forefront of climate change impacts, facing rising temperatures, changing rainfall patterns, and more extreme weather events. Rising temperatures, Australia is warming at twice the global average rate, and temperatures are projected to continue to rise in the coming decades. This warming is leading to more heat waves, which are becoming more frequent and intense. Heat waves can cause heat-related illnesses and deaths, particularly among vulnerable populations such as the elderly and the young. Changing rainfall patterns, Climate change is also causing changes in rainfall patterns, with some areas experiencing more intense and frequent rainfall events while others are experiencing longer and more severe droughts. These changes are leading to flooding, erosion, and water shortages, as well as impacting agriculture and ecosystems. More extreme weather events, Australia is also experiencing more extreme weather events, such as cyclones, bushfires, and droughts. These events are causing widespread damage and loss of life, as well as disrupting communities and businesses. Impacts on the environment, Climate change is also having a significant impact on Australia's environment. Rising temperatures are causing coral bleaching and loss of biodiversity on the Great Barrier Reef, while changing rainfall patterns are leading to changes in vegetation and increased desertification. Impacts on the economy, Climate change is also having a significant impact on Australia's economy. The country is heavily reliant on agriculture, and changes in rainfall patterns and extreme weather events are causing disruptions to production and supply chains. Climate change is also impacting the tourism industry, as extreme weather events and rising temperatures make some areas less desirable for tourists. Adaptation and mitigation, Australia is taking steps to adapt to and mitigate the impacts of climate change. The government has set targets for reducing greenhouse gas emissions and is investing in renewable energy and energy efficiency. The country is also working to improve its resilience to climate change impacts, such as by investing in flood mitigation and drought preparedness. Australia is working to improve its resilience to climate change impacts, such as by investing in flood mitigation and drought preparedness. The country is also working to improve its resilience to climate change impacts, such as by investing in flood mitigation and drought preparedness. Chapter 7. Australia's Environmental Challenges, Water Scarcity, a growing concern. Australia is the driest inhabited continent on Earth, with an average annual rainfall of just 460 millimeters, 18 inches. This scarcity of water is a major challenge for the country, and it is only becoming more severe due to climate change. The impacts of water scarcity. Water scarcity has a wide range of impacts on Australia's environment, economy, and society. Reduced agricultural production. Water scarcity is a major constraint on agricultural production in Australia. Increased bushfires. Water scarcity is also contributing to the increased frequency and severity of bushfires in Australia. Declining biodiversity. Water scarcity is also having a negative impact on Australia's biodiversity. The causes of water scarcity. Climate change is causing Australia to become hotter and drier. Population growth is putting a strain on the country's water resources. Agriculture is the largest user of water in Australia. Mining is another major user of water in Australia. Addressing water scarcity. The Australian government is working to address the challenge of water scarcity. The country needs to develop a long-term plan for water management. Chapter 7. Australia's Environmental Challenges: Invasive Species, a Threat to Biodiversity. Australia's unique and diverse ecosystems are under threat from invasive species, non-native plants and animals that have been introduced to the country, either intentionally or accidentally. One of the most well-known invasive species in Australia is the cane toad, which was introduced from South America in the 1930s to control cane beetles. However, the cane toad has spread rapidly across northern Australia, preying on native animals and competing with them for food and habitat. The cane toad has also been implicated in the decline of some native species, such as the northern quail. Another invasive species of concern is the European rabbit, which was introduced to Australia in the 1850s for hunting and meat production. Rabbits have since become a major pest, causing extensive damage to crops and grazing lands. They also compete with native animals for food and habitat and can spread diseases that can harm native wildlife. Invasive plants can also have a significant impact on Australia's ecosystems. For example, the prickly pear cactus, which was introduced to Australia as a garden plant, has spread rapidly across large areas of Queensland and New South Wales. The prickly pear cactus forms dense thickets that can crowd out native vegetation, making it difficult for native animals to find food and shelter. The introduction of invasive species to Australia is a serious environmental problem. These species can have devastating impacts on native wildlife, ecosystems, and even human health. The Australian government is working to control and manage invasive species, but it is a difficult and ongoing challenge. Australia's unique and diverse ecosystems are a precious national asset. We all have a responsibility to protect these ecosystems from the threat of invasive species. We can do this by being careful not to introduce new, invasive species to the country and by working to control and manage existing invasive species populations. Chapter 7. Australia's Environmental Challenges: Deforestation, Balancing Development and Conservation. Australia is a land of vast and diverse landscapes, from lush rainforests to arid deserts. However, the country's natural beauty is under threat from deforestation, a major environmental challenge facing Australia today. Deforestation is the clearing of forests for other uses, such as agriculture, logging, and development. It has a devastating impact on the environment, leading to habitat loss for wildlife, soil erosion, and a reduction in biodiversity. Deforestation also contributes to climate change by releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Australia has one of the highest rates of deforestation among developed countries. Between 2000 and 2017, Australia lost over 7 million hectares of native forest, an area larger than the state of Tasmania. The main drivers of deforestation in Australia are agriculture. The clearing of forests for agriculture is the leading cause of deforestation in Australia. Logging. Logging is another major cause of deforestation in Australia. Development. The clearing of forests for development is also a significant contributor to deforestation in Australia. The impacts of deforestation are far-reaching and include habitat loss. Deforestation destroys habitat for a wide range of plant and animal species, leading to a decline in biodiversity. Soil erosion. The removal of trees can lead to soil erosion, which can damage water quality and agricultural productivity. Climate change. Deforestation contributes to climate change by releasing carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Australia is taking steps to address the challenge of deforestation. The government has introduced a number of policies and programs to reduce deforestation, including the National Forest Policy. This policy sets out a framework for the sustainable management of Australia's forests. The Regional Forest Agreements. These agreements between the Australian government and state governments set out how native forests will be managed in each state. The Carbon Farming Initiative. This program provides financial incentives to farmers and landholders to undertake activities that reduce greenhouse gas emissions, including planting trees and protecting native forests. These policies and programs are helping to reduce deforestation in Australia. However, more needs to be done to protect the country's native forests. By working together, governments, businesses, and communities can achieve a balance between development and conservation and ensure that Australia's forests are protected for future generations. Chapter 7: Australia's Environmental Challenges. Bushfires, a devastating natural hazard. Bushfires, also known as wildfires, are a devastating natural hazard that has a profound impact on Australia's environment and communities. Fueled by extreme heat, drought, and strong winds, bushfires can spread rapidly, consuming vast tracts of land and causing widespread damage and loss of life. Australia's unique climate and vegetation make it particularly prone to bushfires. The country experiences hot and dry summers, which create ideal conditions for fires to start and spread. Much of Australia's landscape is covered in eucalypt forests, which are highly flammable due to their volatile oils. Bushfires can have a devastating impact on Australia's environment. They can destroy native vegetation, leading to soil erosion and loss of biodiversity. Bushfires can also pollute the air and water and can release large amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. In addition to the environmental impacts, bushfires can also have a significant impact on human communities. They can destroy homes and infrastructure, displace residents, and cause loss of life. Bushfires can also have a long-term impact on mental and physical health, particularly for those who have lost loved ones or property in a fire. Australia has a long history of bushfires, and in recent years, the frequency and intensity of these fires has increased due to climate change. As the climate continues to warm, bushfires are expected to become even more common and severe, posing a significant challenge to Australia's environment and communities. Mitigating the impact of bushfires. Reducing the amount of flammable vegetation in fire-prone areas can help to slow the spread of bushfires. Prescribed burns, mechanical clearing, and grazing can be used to reduce flammable vegetation. Early detection and response to bushfires can help to contain them before they spread and cause significant damage. Satellite technology, aerial surveillance, and community fire watch programs can be used for early detection. Community preparedness is crucial for reducing the impact of bushfires. Educating communities about bushfire risks and preparing them for bushfires can help to reduce the impact of these events. Developing bushfire plans, preparing emergency kits, and conducting regular fire drills can be part of community preparedness. By taking these steps, Australia can help to reduce the impact of bushfires and protect its environment and communities from this devastating natural hazard. This video was created from an ebook on sale at www.pagebook24.com using a self-developed program by Pasquale DeMarco. Download the ebook now.